Hi friends, I think you're going to learn some interesting things in this video. You'll all be familiar with the different tiers of attachments for weapons, but what difference do they actually make in Apex Legends? In this video, I will explore what each of the attachments actually does, and explain to you how much of a difference they can make to your weapons. Let's get started with barrel stabilizers first, because barrel stabilizers are really important in Apex Legends. These stabilizers reduce the recoil of a weapon, usually making your weapon easier to control when you're firing it. There are three key metrics that a barrel stabilizer helps to reduce. These are recoil, referring to the base recoil of your weapon, pitch randomness, and yaw randomness. So I actually asked my friend, who you all know, General Soggy, what these actually meant, and he basically explained to me that the pitch and yaw randomness are when the weapon or camera kicks up, down, left or right, and the randomness part of this is that unpredictability that they throw in to give you some boundaries to make it a little bit harder to predict what the recoil is going to be. The yaw part of this is the horizontal movement of your weapon, while the pitch part of this is the vertical movement of your weapon. And hopefully this gives you a better idea of how recoil works. You've got your base recoil, which is made up of yaw and pitch, and then you've got the randomness effect, which is also made up of yaw and pitch, which sets the boundaries between which the weapon can vary. In terms of the level 1 grey stabilizers, it reduces your recoil by 5%. Like I said, this is your base recoil. It also reduces your pitch randomness by 20% and the yaw randomness by 10%. You see, as you move through level 2 and 3, that the values actually increase each by 5%. As you would expect, the purple barrel stabilizer does reduce more recoil than the grey level 1 stabilizer. The actual effect of these percentage reductions though are obviously contingent on your weapons, because each weapon has its own set base recoil and randomness programmed in. And as you can see when you fire different weapons, the recoil patterns are different. So the amount by which a stabilizer reduces the recoil of your weapon actually does depend on the base values for recoil of your weapon. And you probably will feel it more in weapons that have more recoil. For example, the G7 Scout compared to the R99 has relatively lower recoil at a base level. So if you then put a barrel stabilizer on each, you'll actually notice the effect of the purple stabilizer more on the R99 than you would with the G7 Scout. Also for gold stabilizers, which I know aren't floor loot anymore, but they are still on gold fully kitted weapons, they actually have the same stats as the purple level 3 stabilizers. This basically means, in terms of recoil reduction, from a percentage point of view, they are no different to the level 3 purple stabilizers. The one thing gold stabilizers do give you though, is a reduction of muzzle flash. Muzzle flash is essentially the fire effect that you see coming out of your weapon when you shoot it. And this can sometimes impact your vision of the enemies. So with the gold stabilizer, this essentially helps your vision of the enemies while you're firing. So that's a bit about how different barrel stabilizers can really help you in Apex Legends. Next, let's look at shotgun bolts. Shotgun bolts are attachments that only work for shotguns, and put simply, they increase the fire rate of your shotgun, or in the case of the Peacekeeper, they reduce the rechamber time. What this means is you're essentially increasing the rate at which you fire pellets from your shotgun. For the EVA 8 in Mozambique, the bolt increases the fire rate by 15% for a level 1 bolt, and then this increases by 10% each level up to the level 3 purple bolt, which hits 35% increase in fire rate. And this is often very noticeable, especially in the EVA 8 when you're firing it with the level 3 bolt compared to the base weapon. You'll notice that the Mastiff only gets a 10% fire rate increase with a level 1 shotgun bolt, which then increases by 5% per level, up to 20% at level 3. This is mainly due to the risk of the Mastiff being too overpowered if it follows the EVA 8 and Mozambique in terms of the bolt's increase in fire rate. You can see the same kind of principle for the Peacekeeper. It's got a 7.5% rechamber rate reduction at level 1. This then increases to 13% at level 2, and a 16% reduction at level 3. If you don't know what the rechamber rate is, it's basically the pump between the shots on the Peacekeeper. Next, let's look at extended magazines. You actually have an extended magazine for each type of ammo category. Heavy magazines have slightly different benefits to the others though. In terms of benefit, the most obvious benefit to the extended magazines is that it increases your magazine capacity. This is basically the number of bullets that you have per magazine before you need to reload. Of course, the impact varies per weapon, as each weapon has its own magazine capacity, so there isn't a set percentage per weapon like there is for the barrel stabilizer. And as you know, there are quite a lot of weapons in Apex Legends, so I won't list them all out here, but if you go across to my Twitter and check it out, and maybe drop a follow, you'll see I've posted some tables there covering every weapon and what the different magazine increases are based on the different extended magazines. So that's one of the key benefits for an extended magazine. However, I did also learn something new. You see, extended magazines also increase your reload time. And I'll be honest, I actually never realised this was a thing, and I've been playing since Season 0. I guess it does make sense though, right? Because there aren't any other abilities that allow you to increase your reload speed. So your trick if you want faster reloading is to pick up an extended mag. As you can see, only level 2 and level 3 extended mags have a reduction in reload time. It's a 5% reduction in reload time for all magazines apart from the heavy magazine, which actually has an 8% reduction in reload time. I should say this does also include the level 4, because as I explain in a minute, the level 4 is exactly the same as the level 3. But I should just say though, if you have experienced that situation where it feels like an enemy has reloaded their weapon faster than you, it's probably because they have a level 2, level 3 or even level 4 extended mag. I did just mention gold extended mags. Of course we've got them in the game this season, and they have exactly the same stats as the purple level 3 extended mag. The main difference is that the gold magazines give you an auto reload feature, which means after 5 seconds they automatically reload. And this just shows you the benefit that extended magazines can give you beyond simply increasing the number of bullets that you have. The final set of attachments to look at are standard stocks. We have standard stocks for all weapons apart from snipers, which have their own type of stocks called sniper stocks. I should also say this doesn't include the Bowtech bow because that doesn't actually use a stock. So stocks are designed to enhance your weapon handling and reduce aim drift, which is defined as the drifting effect that occurs while aiming down sights. The main metrics a stock improves are ADS time, which is the time it takes for you to fully aim down sights from the hip, deploy or holster time, this is the time it takes you to bring out or put away your weapon, raise or lower time, and finally aim drift, which is where your weapon slowly moves side to side or up and down as you aim. If we look at the stats of the stock, you can see ADS time, deploy holster and raise lower times are reduced by increases of 5% from 1 to 3. Aim drift actually has the biggest reduction from 15% at level 1 to 25% at level 2 and then 45% at level 3. This is actually a really large reduction that can really help you steady your aim and hit your targets more often. The sniper stocks also slow down aim drift compared to standard stock weapons. The idea of this is it makes it easier to control your sniper because in theory you'll be ADSing a lot more when you've got a sniper. Anyway, that's just a bit of information on how the attachments actually work in Apex Legends. I hope you found this interesting and perhaps you've learnt a little bit more around how Apex Legends works. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you later.